Just for oh crap, I don't. Hey, bro. So, collaborative prom. Hmm. Which one? Go to can be on one. Like go to can be on one poster.
All right,
Nice.
we are live. Yay! Okay. I think we have
Alright,
David. I think we have David Lucas in the stream right now because it says 2 concurrent viewers, and we just lost one.
I'm gonna
Bro,
use mushroom.
I posted the reaction to the Cole Strange pick. It like I got a lot of views overnight, so I was like, huh, maybe I'll post it on the pet subreddit, and then got immediately shat on.
No, because there's a bunch of white dudes who think Bill is their savior.
It was fun reading
No,
the posts and arguments today amongst the community of, oh, there were the range of everything from in Bill we trust and Bill's done everything, and then all the way to posts of it's time to fire Bill, blah 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 blah. It was like, damn.
I think I'm leaning more towards in the Bill we trust. I still think he's an amazing coach. The firing Bill thing is insane. Though people just react off emotion.
Like, I'm gonna do a video of like analyzing the picks and whatnot. Like, after like I've cleared my head of the in the momentness, like it's not a terrible pick. I feel like it's just poor timing where they could have drafted somebody else there and then used draft capital to trade up into the second round to get him.
I'm not gonna say he would have been there in the third round, but he would have been there.
Nah, from everything that's came out is from reporters and insiders talking with GMs and whatnot, it sounds like he wasn't going to get out of the second round if he was there.
Oh my god! Yo! That little dude named Cole. Love the draft. Sick.
There's still a lot of talent left in the second round here. And I think there's enough to where there's a lot more that'll fall into the third as well.
Here's my ideal picks. We go Willis, and then there could be Diesel on board. Willis and Dean, and then I'll floss on stream. I'll do the Orange Justice on stream. Will I have clothes on? Is the question.
I want a trade up into the middle, early, like second round for a corner.
Before the draft starts, let's talk about your car, man. Like how, like
How's it
that was,
fixed?
yes, like that was fast.
I don't know, man. The W Garage, for real.
We went to Los Santos Customs, yeah.
It was pretty simple, I guess. They'd put everything back in place.
Imagine your whole car just full. Not
I
funny.
drove it today,
Not funny.
so
Oh my god! For those who don't know, Brody done crashed in some traffic. Yeah.
the one person in the stream right now is Dave. Oh, and it gives him a little wrench because he's a moderator in the chat.
Why'd you give Dave mods, yo?
I don't know, I felt like it. I mean, I can remove his moderator like nothing, too. Dave is no longer a moderator for the channel. I can just add and remove moderator. It's quite fun. I could also hide user on this channel, put user in timeout. I can pin his message, remove his message, and report it.
Please give him the moderator thing back, please, yo.
I will give him the moderator thing back.
Free my boy. Cause 2K was coming next. I didn't spell her. Oh my god, Matchy still on the board too. This is a deep. This is a deep draft kind of. Oh my god.
Lawrence, who's the top player that you think is gonna continue to fall in this draft?
Um, Pickens, the character issues are very out there. And people are gonna run with the character issues, but the thing you gotta know in the NFL, it doesn't matter if you have character issues. If you could ball, you could ball. Him, I
I
think
feel like
Pickens
character
will fall.
issues matter up until like it depends on the type of character issues. Like they don't matter. Like Thibodeau's quote unquote character issues, those don't matter. Like he's not going out and like beating the shit out of dudes or sexually assaulting people. So like I feel like that's where the line is, you know?
I feel like it's a difference in character issues and like being a criminal. I
Yes.
feel like
Pickens is a criminal.
what did he do? I don't even know what he did, bro.
I forget what it. Let me look this up. George Pickens was.
I'm not gonna say like look up the character issues, but look up the character issues.
True. George Pickens character issues. That's not it. I saw something where it was like Pickens was ejected for fighting in the third quarter, a penalty that carries with it 1/2 suspension in the next game. So he got into a fight during a game.
Oh, it's not that bad. You just say it's a passionate dude. And the injuries. Oh.
He got suspended by his own team. Then got ejected for throwing punches on the field right after.
I think you can fix that. I can't lie. I think you can fix that. That combined with his productivity and his injuries, I think
Pickens was
that's why
committed
he's
to
fine.
Auburn, but we got his final OV before signing day, and we felt we had a 50-50 shot of landing him, and we thought that Auburn was probably thinking the same. Our staff had a lot of connections to Alabama, specifically at Hoover High's Pickens School and Pruitt's old job. Then he flips to Georgia on signing day, and it was like a bomb went off. We didn't really think he'd academically qualify for us. We couldn't believe he got in UGA. Our DPP just walked around the office muttering about how big of a bag Georgia must have dropped. Then came the fight at Georgia Tech and the pissing on our quarterback with a water bottle. Dude is pro.
I just think he has to grow up. I think that's what he made. He just has to grow up.
That's really what it seems like is the thing, is he just doesn't know how to, grow up.
It can either be fixed or it can get worse.
Yeah.
Whoa! Look at the dude in the sombrero. I don't know. Whoever the fuck that is. Mm. 25 lesbians. We didn't know that. Oh, 25 celebrities.
The Buccaneers are officially on the clock.
This is off topic, but like, name a celebrity that you think is a part of the LGBTQ community. Or if you had to think of one, or one
like a closeted one.
Yeah, like one that you wouldn't think.
Who's a closeted LGBTQ? Um, I don't know. Um,
Angelina Jolie.
you think Angelina Jolie's a closeted lesbian or bi or
I
anything?
I think bi. I think bi.
As
I go bi. Very styles.
Harry, moo. I don't think the Harry Styles pick is terrible.
I was reading something on Reddit about like how like he likes boys and stuff. I was like, see, this might be a little inaccurate, but I can see where people are coming from with that statement. You know,
With who?
Harry Styles.
Oh, if I'm Tampa Bay, I put Tom Brady in the war room.
You know, because like imagine picking up the phone and like you talk to the goat. I'm doing a lot of things. You know, that's all I'm saying. I'm doing a lot of things.
I feel like for a guy who does a lot for that team and is already heavily involved with decisions and whatnot that go on with said team, I feel like he'd be a bit more. I feel like if one player were to be allowed into the war room, it'd be Brady. Now, the Buccaneers got this pick by trading back with Jacksonville, as the Jaguars traded back up into the first round after their first overall pick. They traded back up to draft Devin Lloyd with the 27th overall pick, which leaves Tampa on the clock at the top of the second. I think this is a place where, if I'm Tampa, I go and get Vita Vea some help, and I draft Travis Jones.
I'm gonna cry if Travis like if Travis Jones gets drafted and like the people on stream like people in the stream be able to see this, but like I'll do like the running man for like David because David is here. He's this
That's
muted.
true. I I think Travis Jones is the best defensive tackle in this class. Is that a little bias? Maybe.
Yes, not even a little. It's very biased.
I mean, hey, he was dominant, and then was even more dominant at the Senior Bowl. The Buccaneers are on the phone with uh, somebody right now. That's the GM, Jason Licht. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like Licht or something like that. Licht.
He ran a 4.9240. That's fast.
For a D
Like,
tackle,
for
that's fast.
6'4", 325. That's fast.
But so the Bucks were on the phone with somebody, so that means the pick is probably going to be in here soon.
You know, one of his weaknesses, you know, and I did see this in the senior day clips when I saw him destroy the Patriots pick. What's his name? Cole Strange. He's not very like some athletes have that like twitch, like they jump and it's like whoa, like he's not very twitchy when it comes off the ball, and then like he goes into the guy. Everything is very. The word I want to use isn't slow, but it's like it's regular. It's regular.
It's
It's
pretty general.
regular.
It's something that would cause a guy to drop into the second round.
You know.
Um, PFF has his cons as no athletic element to his game, for him to stay low throughout his entire pass rush reps, and not much of a playmaker or finisher in the run game.
Final thing, one of his strengths are that like he requires a double team to block him, and then if you add that with Vita Vea, that line's gonna be insane. Like
And
that,
then
that line's gonna be
throw
insane.
in the fact that their edge rushers are Shaq Barrett, Tryon Shoyinka,
And the rookie. Oh, like, that was the rookie. No, the rookie from last year. So like the rookie from
Yeah,
last year.
the edge rusher
What is
from last year was Joe Tryon Shoyinka. But the Bucks pick is officially in. We'll
I
be
think
getting
yeah.
that
I
momentarily.
think they go Travis Jones. I think they go Travis Waffy.
Giants could get a steal with Dean at number 36. I do agree. Um, I think Dean would. The Giants already have started to build a very nice defense. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants go corner if he ends up there, whether it's Kyler Gordon or Andrew Booth, as um, there have been
Andrew was
talks.
also slid. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
there have been talks that the Giants want to move on from James Bradbury, so that wouldn't surprise me either. But the Buccaneers pick is being announced, and who is it?
Travis Jones. Go Travis.
Oh,
Travis
it's
Waffy.
Travis Jones. Logan Hall. It is a D tackle, but not Travis Jones.
Oh
It is
man, this
Logan
is
Hall out of Houston. Now, Logan Hall, I did have, I did see him. I did scout him. He's good, not like great. If that he's he's a second round prospect. I didn't expect him to maybe go at the top of the second, but he did well in 13 games played, 500 defensive snaps, 300 of those were pass rush, 200 were run defense. He played mostly in the B gap, so they are using him to match up against Vita Vea, who's that nose tackle for Tampa, just going to eat up the center and whatever guard for whichever side he's playing on, which is going to likely leave Logan Hall in one-on-one with the offensive lineman. He got 7 sacks, 7 hits, 16 hurries. This was his first year really as a starter. It looks like the Packers have traded up in the draft
well, here
with the
comes
Minnesota
George.
Vikings. I would not be surprised if this is a wide receiver, possibly George Pickens. But the Packers are on the clock and the pick is in.
Oh my god, here comes George. Everyone.
The Packers moved
This.
up. They gave up the 34th overall pick, or they get the 34th overall pick, as the Vikings get the 53rd and the 59th overall picks. But yeah, that leaves Green Bay on the clock. I think this couldn't be for anything other than a receiver, right?
You know, it's sad that like the George Pickens fan could not be here to witness this greatness that we're about to see right now. Sad. Dave, I hope you get better, man. I heard you've been fighting a battle with COVID, man. I hope you get better, man. We get our prayers up today, you know.
It's okay, Dave. We hope you do better. Let's see who this pick is. I mean, I feel like it's either going to be Pickens, Watson, or Moore. If I got my choice between the group, I'm picking Pickens and just hoping that Matt LaFleur can help develop him and coach him into being a better person. Maybe Rodgers can help do that. The Packers do still have Randall Cobb on the roster. So that's a veteran wide receiver presence in the room. They'd have Sammy Watkins. So they've got veteran presence for whoever they do decide to bring in. And that's Aaron Jones, I believe, in a humongous Packers sombrero.
He's so goofy, yo. Oh my god,
That's
yo.
very goofy, but I mean, I don't hate it.
I think it fits who he is, you know.
Yeah.
Just a
Aaron
goofy dude, you know?
Jones is announcing the selection. who's it going to be? It is Christian Watson, wide
Let's go!
receiver
That's
out
my
of
guy!
North Dakota State.
That's my guy. Let's go.
Now, I did like what I saw from Christian Watson on tape when I was doing film review on him. I think the main concerns with Christian Watson were that, he plays in the FCS at NDSU, and he didn't have to deal with a lot of press coverage. His role is he is a vertical threat. He has the opportunity to develop into a wide receiver one for the Packers. It's just going to be a matter of, is his skills that he had at low-level competition going to translate to an NFL level? He had an 87.8 PFF grade this past season in 12 games played, with only with 195 passing snaps. Lined up mostly out wide, had some reps in the slot. He had 43 catches on 62 targets for 800 yards, averaged 18 yards per reception, and had 7 touchdowns. That's another thing that made it tough for Christian Watson. He got bumped up in the draft process because of his combine. He ran very well at the combine. Did he run the fastest 40?
He ran a 4.36.
Okay.
Jeez.
I didn't know if he ran the fastest 40, but I knew it was up there. Joins a long line of Packers wide receivers to be drafted in the second round. Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, all wide receivers that were drafted in the second round by the Packers. I think it's a great pick and a great move up for Green Bay. They needed a wide receiver, and they just went up and got one. And I think if Christian Watson is a developmental X receiver, I think he went to a great spot to develop into that.
I love this pick, man. Like, I've been high on Christian Watson for a while now, man. I love it. I can't explain how much I love this pick. Granted, I think Pickens is like the better player right now, but
the Titans are making their selection, and the Jets are next up after them. Titans got this move in a trade. I forget with who they got this pick from. It's blanking from the top of my head. The Titans select Roger McCreary, corner out of Auburn, as Andrew Booth continues to slide in this draft. Roger McCreary, well, I can't even speak. He's a great corner coming out of Auburn. He's a man guy. He's going to fight at the line of scrimmage. Because of his size and build and playability, he's being looked at more as a slot corner, which does kind of work for the Titans, as they've got Christian Fulton on the outside. They have somebody else I am forgetting off the top of my head, and it's going to drive me nuts, but I'm pretty sure I'm right with this. Caleb Farley, they drafted last year in the first round. They also do have Elijah Molden and as a corner as well. So I think they drafted McCreary. I think it's a little bit high for McCreary, but they drafted somebody for the need of a slot corner, and it makes sense in that outlet.
Man, I'm just waiting for the Seahawks. Like, if we're being 100%, I'm waiting for the Seahawks pick, man.
Originally it was the Giants with this pick, but it does look like there was a trade with the Jets to move up 2 spots with the Giants for the 36th overall pick.
the Jets are not gonna do nothing this year, but they're like, hey man, if we're gonna let our fans down, like for the whole season, we're gonna make them happy right now. Like they are just
What the
doing
Jets are
something.
doing is they're looking at Zach Wilson and being like, "Hey, we're bringing the talent in." You know, the only thing I'd say the Jets are really missing is like, so who'd they have? They had Michael Carter become their starting running back last year, and I think he did well. And I'd like to see how he develops in year 2. But if he doesn't take a step up from what he was last year, the Jets at the end of this upcoming season will likely be in the need of a star running back. But that defense just continues to add talent to it. Yeah, the drafts are already going the picks are already going pretty fast. I like the pace that this draft is moving at. It's a lot better than drafts in the past.
Nah, the first day was terrible. The first day was terrible. I cannot lie to you. The first day was insane.
Yesterday didn't even go that slow.
Bro, it was just a whole bunch of the pickers and the one commercial break for like an hour. An hour is insane.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
To move up 2 spots, the Jets give up a 5th round pick, 146 overall to be exact. And if that's right, the Jets only after this pick will have 3 more selections left in this draft. Jets giving up a lot of late round picks to just continue to move up and select top talent in this draft class. Joe Douglas, the GM for the Jets, just continuing to make moves to try and better this team.
Yeah. This is kind of relevant, but like, I have a feeling we know who the Giants are going for. A name we have not heard yet is Chicago. It's Chicago. Like, where do we think Chicago goes? I'm curious.
Chicago didn't have a 1st round pick. I think they're going to go offense to try and support Justin Fields, or at least that's what they should do, because Justin Fields is like the only talented player left on that side of the ball right now. You've got Darnell Mooney, who has to step up to a wide receiver 1 role this year, and we'll see if he does that. But the Jets pick
It's
about
Revis.
It is the one and only Revis Island.
Corner of all time. Jesus.
Did you say greatest corner of all time?
I did say third. Third.
And with the pick, the Jets select
Richard Sherman is better than
running back Breece Hall. What did I say?
Wow.
What did I say? You know what? I bet you that's why they traded up in front of Houston.
Again, I'm not gonna say that like I said he'd be the first running back off the board.
You did
but
say.
I did say this.
I do like Kenneth Walker better, but
athleticism is a 99. It's real. It's real.
Breece Hall is going to he looks like Marshawn Lynch. I think is a good comparison, if I do say so myself. He's a barreling type of running back. They're showing it on the NFL network right now. He's got Marshawn Lynch's downhill ability with Le'Veon Bell's patience, and I think that makes for a great running back in the draft. I think Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker are 1st-round talent worth running backs. It's just with how running backs have trended over the last couple years and how their usability, wear and tear, they don't necessarily want to be paid, or teams don't necessarily want to pay them. They've kind of lost value in terms of the draft, so they're starting to fall into the 2nd round. I think whoever gets I think the Jets just got a great running back in Breece Hall, and I think whoever gets Kenneth Walker is also going to be left with a great running back.
Man, I like that Marshawn Lynch pick, but the difference between him and Marshawn Lynch, Marshawn Lynch did not run a 4.3. This guy runs a 4.3 for the converted, like 40 inch vertical jump, man. As you said, the Marshall Lynch pick, I see it. In his film, he lowers. Like, when I mean lowers the shoulder, I mean lowers the shoulder. It's insane. And then with the Le'Veon patience, he waits for the blocks to set up because Iowa State did have a very heavy zone running scheme. He waited for the blocks to set up, and he was out. You know, he's amazing. Amazing. And we
While
watched it.
while we
He's amazing
were
to watch.
discussing that pick, the Texans select Jalen Petre, DB out of Baylor. Uh, he's listed as a corner on PFF, and I think that's because he's viewed as either being moved into a box safety type of role, or not a box, just a hybrid safety type of role, or a slot corner. He, because of his size and playability, similar to Roger McCreary, he's a bit more of a ball hawk than McCreary is. McCreary is very physical, and that's why he's being put into this. He'll be placed in more of a slot corner role. Petre has the ball skill ability to be able to be moved to safety, or he can be played in the slot with his size. Either way, I think Petre is a great DB for the Texans to add to that secondary that they already put Derek Stingley in.
Oh, a trade! A
The
trade!
Falcons have traded with the Chicago Bears for the 38th overall pick. Curious what details or what the Falcons gave to move up. The Falcons are probably going defender here.
Who do they go, bro? Because they do have Grady Jarrett.
I
Deion
mean,
Jones.
they took their wide receiver yesterday.
I think they're going to Colby Dean now to that linebacker core.
I think that might be an option for them here.
I was like, because Deion
And
Jones.
actually, the trade was not with Chicago; it was with the Giants.
Actually might go Dean here.
I wouldn't be surprised. Dean would be a great add to that linebacking core that I cannot name anybody in right now.
Deion Jones.
Oh, that's true. They did. I think they still have Deion Jones in there.
Bro, for some reason, I want to say Quan Alexander. I don't know what.
No, I think Quan Alexander went back to the Saints.
Oh,
I think
okay,
he signed
so
with somebody.
Deion,
Oh no, he's still a free
Deion,
agent.
Rashad Evans, and
Yeah.
Lorenzo.
Okay. So the Falcons signed Rashawn Evans. They have Ed, Ed, I can't even pronounce that name. They have a linebacker Ogundeji, Deion Jones, and Rashawn Evans, and also Lorenzo Carter. But Lorenzo Carter's pretty older. But the Falcons pick is in. Did they show what the Falcons gave up to move up there? No, not yet.
Yeah, man, I can see him going linebacker. I can see him going linebacker or.
I think anything on defense just helps tremendously. Tremendously. Are we gonna? Are they gonna announce the pick or show what they traded to make the move? They're announcing the pick now. Lawrence, we were being asked what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I'm a caramel swirl kind of guy, but I don't eat ice cream like that because I am lactose intolerant.
Imagine.
Alright.
If it's got peanut butter and chocolate in it, then it's a W.
To do this, I have to do this poll. Once the draft is over, Greeks posters. Am I looking forward to it? No, not at all. Not at all. The chain USA. What? Like, what are you changing USA? Show me a dome. If you dance on the floor, that'll make you shake. Don't mind if you were against it. Wait, hold on. Oh, the Picton,
Yep.
the something family, whoever these black people are. And it's Nicole? Nah, I have no idea.
Arnold Ebiketie, edge rusher out of Penn State. So, I didn't get a chance to watch any film on him because he wasn't climbing up boards until about a couple days ago. At least from what I saw, he was seen as like a second round prospect, or he was seen as a second, third round prospect up until honestly a few days ago, where I started to see him get slotted more into the late first round. And I was kind of curious as to why. So I definitely am gonna want to go take a look at that.
From what I'm seeing from like these like little clips, he has really, really good hand. Like really, really good hand placement. And like his footwork and the bend is crazy
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm seeing.
Talking about another man's bend is
Yeah, I'm
insane.
sure you like a man's bend.
No man, I like how big and like lanky they are, you know? Looking at their corners, a big frame that they could fill out, you know? Oh, what's going on? I don't know.
I am wondering who, or I'm trying to figure out what the Falcons might have given up to make this pick so I can make it here in the mock draft simulator. It's funny, between last night and then so far today, none of the trades that have been done have been rejected. Like when I make them in PFF, they're like, yeah, that's good. So I guess it's a bit of a plus for teams. You know, PFF thinks your trades are okay. Trying to figure out what this trade up was. Or not Reddit. As this draft continues, we do see players just continuing. Top players continuing to slide in Nakobe Dean, Andrew Booth, and Travis Jones.
I'm just so like why is Nakobe Dean sliding, bro?
I think it's because of his
What the fuck?
size.
This is what we want. This is what we want to happen. You know who else was really small, like for his size? Devin White. You know, but like nah, but he was super fast. I should have said Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner's not big, right? Yeah, Bobby Wagner, man. You know, he slid right to us too, because he wasn't the biggest middle linebacker. You know, I'm excited, bro.
When you go from a 5-win team in college to a 4-win team in the NFL. I don't even know who that is.
This was hilarious. Oh my god. Like we shouldn't even watch tape on him. You know, we're gonna take him. That was hilarious.
The Falcons gave up their second and a fourth rounder to make this trade. That is the details from it. And as this happens, the Bears pick is in, but we are stuck on a commercial break because
This is what I was talking about, you know?
we can never get enough of those. It's all about the entertainment.
Don't be surprised if Pickens falls here.
After this, the Seahawks are on the clock.
Good day, bro. Good life. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh crap. Oh.
They are getting ready to announce the Bears selection. I'm honestly a little surprised the Bears didn't decide to trade back a little bit, just because I don't think they have a lot of draft capital in this draft. I mean, they have 6 picks left, but a lot of them aren't until a lot later. Looks like they have two seconds and a third, and then a bunch of day 3 picks.
Jackson.
Yes.
Can you move the man himself? He's here.
Oh, yes. Apologize. As Simon has now entered the chat. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Mr. Diaz. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. Good evening.
With the Bears selection, they take cornerback Kyler Gordon out of Washington. Kyler Gordon was seen as the jelly to Trent McDuffie's peanut butter over at Washington. As you know, McDuffie was more of the smaller zone corner. Kyler Gordon was the bigger man corner over at Washington.
Oh man, what did you know? What did you know something about peanut butter and jelly, Mr. Jackson? I'm sorry.
Funny joke.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Alright, please. I know it was bad, bro.
Fun fact about Kyler Gordon: he has a background in kung fu. He used to be a dancer growing up, and yeah.
That's a great fun fact, Simon. I'm glad you could share to the class.
And of course, talented in multiple sports. Dancing, kung fu, and football.
Imagine losing to a breakdancer. Oh my god, yo. I'd cry.
Up next, we do have the Seattle Seahawks
Oh,
with
it's happening.
back-to-back picks.
Ooh, the Seahawks. This is good.
Best case scenario, bro. We go Willis and Dean, bro. Because we do need another linebacker. Jordan Bucks cannot do it all by himself. He had a breakout year this year, but yeah, man, we need another one.
Now, do you think a off-ball linebacker in Dean is better than a, say, pure edge rusher in someone like a Nick Bonito?
I'm even gonna hear it. Yes.
Kyler Gordon, 22 years old, 6 foot 194 pounds,
Hey.
a sophomore out of Washington.
Like, imagine getting hit sick by this guy. I'd be
Here's the
sad.
dancing background I was talking about.
That is true. They do show his dancing background as a highlight for him. So I wonder if that dancing helps him in some fluidity.
For sure.
Can you read that last comment out loud for me, please?
This is the all day football show guy is fire. I do appreciate that, Simon.
Let's
Really
go. Let's
appreciate it.
go. Oh my god.
It is taking
Oh
a
my
little
God.
bit for them to switch off this Kyler Gordon thing, but
Oh
the
my god,
Seahawks
the pick is
the
in.
Seahawks pick,
The pick
is
ladies
in.
and gents.
I would not be mad with Ritter either. I would not be mad with Ritter either, yo.
You would not be mad with Ritter.
Actually, yeah, I wouldn't be mad with Ritter. I like Ritter. Oh, I like Ritter. Combine beast, combine champ. He had a good career at Cincinnati. Oh my god. Oh, shaky. Ah. We get somehow. I'm leaving. Or I wouldn't be a bad pick, guy.
I think if the Seahawks should go Coral.
Coral.
Yeah, Matt Coral.
I think Pete Carroll is one of the best GMs football's ever seen. I love being a goofy dude, bro.
The Seahawks GM's who? John Schneider? Is that who it is? I'm pretty sure I'm right with that. The Seahawks GM.
Yes, it is
John
Schneider.
Schneider. I am. Lawrence, what's your take on Pete Carroll?
Oh my
as
god,
a
oh
head
my god.
coach? Oh, never mind. We are getting
Doesn't
the
matter
pick
right now.
selection.
Oh my god.
Boy Maffei, edge rusher out of Minnesota.
Oh, let's go.
They do not go with the quarterback with their first, second round pick. Or
They
N'Kobe
do
Dean.
have two, though.
They do have two.
picks.
They decide to go with the edge rusher, like I suggested.
But why not Nick Benito? That's my question. Why not Nick Benito?
I feel like maybe they're still deciding at what corner they want, or quarterback they want. That's like my only explanation.
Amazing hands, I can't lie.
Fun fact about Boy Mafe. He
Mafe.
is Nigerian. He is Nigerian. And in middle school, actually, he went to study abroad in Nigeria, which helped him connect with his roots. And I think it's something that has definitely changed his life in the way he approaches everything he does. His tenacity. Yeah, he's definitely here to make his family proud. I'm certain he will with the Seahawks.
I think that's a great move. I think it's a
Pick
good
is
move
in.
for the Seahawks. The second pick is in, so they do decide to use both selections.
Lawrence, start crying. Start crying. Start crying.
Oh,
Start
uh-oh.
crying. Start crying.
We have, this is the first time Dave has appeared so far
Oh no.
in the stream, and it appears it is just to let Lawrence know that he may be a little upset with the selection.
Honestly, man, I know the Seahawks are a great franchise. They have a history of making good picks.
All I'm gonna say,
There's no
only
doubt
Lawrence
in
is
my
gonna
mind.
get this, but they drafted him.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're gonna.
With
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Smith Walker from Michigan
with
State.
with the 41st overall pick in the draft, the Seahawks select running back Kenneth Walker III out of Michigan State.
Doesn't even make sense, bro.
The Seahawks, they re-signed Rashad Penny this offseason. He was a former first-round pick for the Seahawks who hadn't really shown up on the field at all due to injuries up until this past year. So the Seahawks decided to re-sign him, but it appears they are not committed to him as much as they are going forward as they are to Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is the best running back in this class in terms of overall playability, I think he can be a receiver out of the backfield as well. The big knock on Kenneth Walker is that he's terrible in pass protection, and that's something that he's going to have to work on if he wants to be a 3-down back in the NFL. He did not get very much work out of the passing game in this draft. God bless you. With only 18 career catches. But I think it is something that the Seahawks can work on, and I think the Seahawks view Kenneth Walker as the future RB1 of this team. For the past few years, they've been a run-first team, and I think that's what they view Kenneth Walker as here. I do want to hear the Seahawks fan take on this pick, though. Lawrence?
Don't get me wrong. I love me some Kenneth Walker. He's me. I'm him. He's me. I love me some Kenneth Walker. But it just doesn't make sense for a pick like that. Our running back room, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Carson, Rashad Penny. We like those guys. Chris Carson, when
I
he's
don't think
healthy.
Chris Carson has been re-signed, actually.
No.
Actually, he has been re-signed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, I think, which makes no sense. And we have Travis Homer. Our running back group was pretty deep. And then, instead of going for a need position, it's already, like...
I feel like with that, the Seahawks do kind of view Drew Lock as the quarterback for this year, or they might make a move for one of the veterans.
I don't have mixed emotions about this. I don't know. Because I like the pick. Believe it or not, I like the pick. It's just
Not
hard, bro.
over some other things.
Yeah, it's hard.
Do we think we'll see a quarterback picked in the top, another quarterback picked in the top 50? Now, the teams left remaining without any trades. The teams left to pick in the top 50 include the Colts, the Giants, the Browns, Ravens, Lions, Commanders, Bears, Saints, and Chiefs. I think with that, the only team that might is the Lions or the Commanders. Other than that, I would have to say no, and it'll depend on a trade up, at least for the top 50.
Well,
But yeah, that's the Vikings have traded up with the Colts for the 42nd overall pick. A lot of trades so far. I don't know who this is for.
I have a question.
Yes.
As a non-football fan, can you explain these draft trades?
So, teams will trade there's 7 rounds in the draft before any trades occur. Each team essentially has one draft choice in each round. So what teams will do is they'll package picks together.
I'm making my return real quick.
Uh-oh.
I just came in to announce that Lawrence will be crying, and I will now announce that our host here will be crying, and that is all.
Wait, I will be... Wait. No, I know what this is
what
then.
happened?
Lawrence, I think we might see one of the top players in the class come off the board here.
I don't want to cry anymore.
I have a feeling this might be one of my favorite players. The one that I've wanted for a very long time. And if it is this said person, I'm going to be a little upset. I cannot lie.
Isn't it? Gonna
If
be
it
dumb.
is
Man.
who I think it is, uh,
Why am I gonna be crying, yo?
I think it is who I think it is.
Oh wait, it's either Booth or Dub. It'd make more sense to be Booth.
I think it's Booth. The Vikings have a need at corner next to Patrick Peterson.
Old man Pete.
And I think this is what the pick is going to be here. I'm going to be so upset if this is Booth.
Man. I'm about to just run the
But
spawner deck and super auto picks, man.
It would make
Oh, yeah.
sense for this to be Booth, so...
Quack, 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 quack.
Come on, old man, just make this selection. This guy's just taking forever to make a selection. Like, how long does it take? Ed Marinero. Like, dude, how much are you gonna talk to the crowd? You haven't won an
He's
Oscar.
kind of ugly, too.
Like, nobody cares about Vikings fans. See, yeah, no one cares. Announce that pick.
Plus one, I want to be honest with you. Me and Jackson have been dating for 5 years now. I just wanted to get that up.
That's false information.
I'm going out some other palm poses tomorrow. I wanted to keep it secret, but I couldn't. I want him to know my love for him.
I'm about
What's
to have...
taking this man so long, though?
I don't know. Like, just announce your damn pick.
I hate dudes that
Yeah,
think
they
they're
had
special.
to. They had to walk out and like tell him to make the damn pick.
What is he talking about, bro?
I don't have the sound on, so we have no idea.
Like,
Like, what the hell is going on? It is him. No! Man. And the Vikings do select Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback out of Clemson.
I just seen that Chris Booth, bro. That's crazy.
This was one of my top corners coming out of this draft class. I was surprised he fell this far. And the Vikings take advantage, trade up to go get him. I think it's a great trade by the Vikings. And I'm just upset it wasn't my team to do it, honestly. Booth is a corner who can develop to play either man or zone coverage in the NFL. He played top talent at Clemson.
The Giants pick is all over the line.
Yeah, because that guy was talking forever.
Like, yo, who is this guy? And then they were like, kill his mic. And they killed his mic. It's hard, bro.
It is
Now,
hard.
you have a quarterback here?
So Andrew Booth, his slide ends, and the Giants pick is now upcoming.
Dude, they just have random ass dudes reading these names.
Sometimes. That last guy was a former player.
Yeah, don't make it. Do it. He was
So
the
who's
best
this
guy.
guy, right now?
The Kid Mero, he's a I watched, like, stand up, and I've never heard of this guy before.
Wandale
Wandale Robinson is the
What
selection
are these-
wide receiver
Kentucky's wide receiver.
out of Kentucky. Wandale Robinson. I feel like that is a huge overdraft of Robinson. I think the talent is there for him, but damn. He's very shifty, but I think his size, and he's more of a gadget type receiver. I feel like this move just kind of solidifies the Giants might be trying to trade Tony, as the Giants do have 4 receivers already, now adding Wandale Robinson. That would make it 5 receivers in that room between, they signed Kenny Galladay, they still have Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, and they have Kadarius Toney.
Oh, this kid's good. Who is he?
Some dudes are saying who.
Nobody's good.
Oh, he's back on the stage.
No, they're cutting back to making, like, bro. Twitter's gonna be laughing that shit up.
Jack Daddy. Sorry.
I don't hate the pick. I don't. I feel like it's a reach. He's 5'8", 178.
Beast is what they're saying.
Like, to put that in a little bit of perspective, I'm still mad. He just gave his whole life story. Yeah, I'm a lot lighter though. Is that I'm gonna have to find what that dude was talking about, because that was just like what the hell? Simon, do you have any details on Mr. Andrew Booth? Or Wandale Robinson? Where Simon is going? Never mind. The Texans have traded with the Browns with this pick. Not crazy surprised, as we've seen the Browns and the Texans already be a little bit involved in the trading scene, so it's not all too surprising.
Yeah, like it's hard. Like those picks weren't bad. Like
Are you still trying to cope over those picks?
yeah, man. Like they weren't bad at all. Like I liked the picks. It's just it doesn't make sense. Like as a football player, like it doesn't make sense to add more running backs.
I do understand the reasoning behind that. I feel like they look at it as they're probably gonna try and let Carson and Penny go after this year, and they're gonna weave Kenneth Walker into the stable. But the Texans pick is in, waiting for the details on what they gave to trade up for that selection. pick is in. They'll be getting ready to announce it here shortly. Lawrence,
Yes.
who do you think this trade up is for?
Nobody important, bro. I don't know. I'm sick. Like, not as sick as you were yesterday, but I'm sick, bro.
Bro.
Let me lock in. Let me lock in. Who traded up?
Oh!
Whoa! Not
No! Bro, can
Man,
this draft get any worse?
you're not that guy. He's him. You're not that guy. He's him.
With the
He's
44th overall pick, the Giants select Wandale Robinson. Bro, that makes... And dudes were saying that it would be an overdraft if the Patriots took him where they are. He goes 44th overall to the Texans. I have wanted Mechie for so long to pair with Mac Jones, and now not going to get that opportunity. He is coming off an ACL injury, or was it an Achilles? Somewhere. It was an ACL. To be honest, that Texans offense doesn't look terrible if Davis Mills can further develop. It looks like the Texans traded up ahead of Baltimore to select Mechie. They thought that Baltimore was going to take Mechie with their pick, so they move up ahead to try and take him, and they were successful.
Oh my god, bro, that's just there's lots going on. A lot's going on. I don't have enough time to explain how much is going on.
The Ravens pick is in. Curious if the details have been released for what the Texans used to trade up for that selection. I have a feeling this pick by the Ravens might also be a wide receiver.
Man, it's been a long drive.
It hasn't even been that long.
Not a Michael, bro. It's just like emotionally, this is not a drive. It's been very draining to my mental. Travis Jones. There's a lot of names. How?
I just want the details for the Texans trade, man. And I get the pick spoiled for me in the process for the Ravens. That's okay. I actually do like this pick for the Ravens.
The Lions select.
With this pick, the Ravens select
Oh, this is the guy
David
who got injured.
Ojabo, edge rusher out of Michigan.
He had got injured.
I'm just gonna do a late pick and force this trade through so that it can be done, and I can give the Texans Mechie and the Ravens Ojabo. Ojabo was originally projected to be a first-round selection, but slid in the draft after tearing his Achilles at, was it his pro day?
Yes.
I believe it was his pro day that he tore his Achilles.
Fun fact about him, he's also Nigerian. A lot of Nigerian players are getting drafted tonight. Is he? Yeah, he is.
Ojabo was the bread to Aiden Hutchinson's butter in Michigan's defense this past year. You can see on the highlight tapes that they show for Ojabo, it's literally Hutchinson coming in on one side and Ojabo coming in on the other, just to meet at the quarterback.
Are you hungry, Jackson? You've been making a lot of food references. Haha.
I mean, I'm eating ice cream right now, but yeah, I guess I'm hungry.
Hungry for knowledge, man.
All right, my next comparison won't be a food one. It's still gonna be a comparison, but it won't be a food one.
Look at like a beach. No, my. Oh.
It's the Lions on the clock making their selection.
Oh my God, it's Key from Key and Peele.
They select Josh Paschal, defensive end out of Kentucky. I cannot lie, I remember the name, but I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't think I ever got a chance to look at Josh Paschal. So we'll just have to see on the tape here. And that they're not even going to show because they're going to go to a commercial break. Hate the NFL draft. No, I don't. I love it.
That was some slut stuff to say. I hate that NFL draft. No, I can't hold my feelings right anymore. I love it. I don't know what's going on.
The Commanders pick is up next. I am going to look first. I guess Josh Paschal was actually rated higher than I thought. Edge rusher out of Kentucky was viewed as a second-round pick by PFF. Calling him a poor man's Brandon Graham. He is 6'4", 270 pounds, 22 years old, and a senior. Really came on this past year, but it appears he's been defensive starter for at least. He was a defensive starter this year. Looks like he was a little bit more of a rotational guy the year before. Plays mostly as a 5-tech or edge. I'm guessing the Lions are drafting him to play 5-tech since they just drafted Hutchinson to play outside the tackle. But since they're on commercial break, I'm going to take this time to go grab some water. I will be back. we are back. Lawrence, what do you think has been the biggest surprise of day 2 so far? Oh, Lawrence has gone on mute. Is David Brito here? Is also a no. I've been left by my lonesome, but that's okay. We've done this before. We've been here before. I think the biggest surprise of day 2 so far has honestly been the Seahawks not going quarterback. With either of their second round picks, I'd say between that and Andrew Booth falling all the way to 42nd overall. But the draft is hard to predict. I think another thing that's surprising is the Nakobe Dean slide is getting to be a bit insane. The Commanders' pick is in, and it is defensive tackle Fedarian Mathis out of Alabama. The Travis Jones slide continues, and I actually liked Fedarian Mathis coming out of Alabama. I was a little surprised that he fell as much as he did. I think it was more just because a lot of teams view him more as a developmental prospect for the draft. I mean, he's a great defensive lineman. This year he was a full-time starter, was a rotational piece for 2 years that did pretty well. Lined up mostly in the B gap, but continued to trend down as the season progressed. He's viewed as a 2-gapper compared to Lawrence Guy. Lawrence Guy has been a great run defender for the Patriots the last couple years. I think Mathis brings a lot of value to Washington. I am a little surprised with the pick considering Washington's defensive line, but I wonder if that just means they're going to be trying to move on from some of these guys. As you know, for their defensive tackles, they have Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, so I wonder if that means they're going to try and trade one of those guys or just slowly weave them in. A quarterback still has not gone in the top 50, and unless a trade-up happens, I don't think we're going to see one. The Bears have less than a minute on the clock, and maybe a trade is happening. That's why it's taking so long. Maybe they're going to trade and the pick is immediately going to be in. This might be for a quarterback. I stand corrected. The Bears pick is in. As Kenny Pickett remains the only quarterback selected so far. think the Bears pick right here might be Bernard Raymond out of Central Michigan. He's an offensive tackle. Was a projected first rounder, but has just continued to slide. Guy's got a Devin Hester jersey on. Sean Evans, host of Hot Ones. Is it bad that I don't know what that is? Maybe. The pick is safety Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. Jaquan Brisker is going to translate as a great safety in the NFL, especially for the Bears. He's slotted as a box safety type of guy. I think he's going to play more of the strong safety than free safety. But he did that well at Penn State, whether it was blitzing in packages or sitting, lurking in the box. He just did well at whatever he was asked to do at Penn State. I think the safety class was a little underrated in terms of, I think a bunch of these guys are pretty good and do look to be great NFL prospects, just not necessarily first round guys, and that's why they have fallen this far. But the one thing that is thought of that he can improve on is his eyes. He needs to improve his eyes in coverage to hold up in matchup zone coverages in the NFL. He's too easily manipulated by quarterbacks. Just seems like Brisker has too much of a trouble with anytime whatever he's asked to do, he's always looking back trying to see whether it's whether the quarterback's trying to throw, where the ball is going running wise, and I think that might be the issue. Saints on the clock here. I actually think the Saints might go quarterback here. I wouldn't be shocked, especially because they covered their two other needs in the first round with Trevor Penning and a wide receiver. Saints have not made a selection yet with 2 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. I wonder if this is Malik Willis here, a developmental prospect for the Saints, as we are back in a commercial break, because what else is ever new with that? We are more than halfway through the second round. Best players that I do still have available include Nakobe Dean, Travis Jones, George Pickens, Matt Corral, Bernard Raymond. The only knock on Raymond is that he's older. He's going to be like 25 when the season starts. It does look like the Saints are on the phone with somebody and have made a selection. As the Saints pick is officially in. If I'm a betting man, I think I'm going quarterback. That or Travis Jones. Would you rather get crossed or dunked on? I get crossed and dunked. I don't get dunked on because my friends aren't that tall. But I do get dunked on a lot. I am terrible at basketball. Yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna continue to get crossed for the rest of my life is what I'd rather do. Because getting dunked on at, my friends aren't really much taller than me, so I feel like it'd be a little to get dunked on. And I don't want balls in my face. But looks like the pick is about to be made here. Hopefully there's not a guy giving another 10-minute speech. I gotta find the clip of that because I want to know what this dude was talking about. Cameron Jordan coming out for the Saints selection. With the Saints selection, they select cornerback Alontae Taylor out of Tennessee. I'm going to be honest. Don't know. It looks like PFF has him as ranked 138th overall on their board. 6 foot, 200 pounds, a senior at 23 years old. I didn't think the Saints really needed a corner. PFF doesn't have too many details on him. Played at Tennessee in the ACC. Looks like he did well against some pretty decent opponents. Worst game was against Missouri. Had a 83.1 PFF grade. Played mostly outside corner. 820 defensive snaps, 464 coverage snaps. He allowed 29 catches on 52 targets for 396 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Only 5 forced incompletions, only 8 coverage stops, and 10 missed tackles. I don't really see why this was the selection I guess they did it kind of, I don't know, maybe because Tennessee's decently close to Louisiana? I don't know. I definitely like Marcus Jones and Jalen Armour-Davis more than that. I feel like that would have been a better move, but they haven't even shown tape to watch. Yeah, I know a lot of the players that I thought I did pretty well at going into. My goal was to try and better understand like the top 100 players. I didn't really get to that number per se, but I do still know a decent amount of the guys that are left. Like when I scroll through this list here, I do remember looking, other than edge rusher, I do remember looking at a lot of these guys' films. So it's just a matter of when they get selected, I guess. The Patriots have traded up with the Chiefs to make a pick. Oh, if this is Dean. Oh boy. Oh boy. We made a move. Oh boy. Who's this for? Who is this for? Please be Dean. If it's not Dean, make it Armour Davis. Give us a corner or a linebacker. Give us a corner or a linebacker. The pick is in. Sound the alarm. The pick is in. Don't you dare cut to a commercial break. I think this has got to be Nakobe Dean. I don't think Belichick expected Dean to fall this far, and this is who he's moved up for. Belichick has traded up in the second. This is the 4th year in a row Belichick has traded up in the second round. I bet you this is for Dean, and if it's not, I'm gonna be a little confused as to who it is. The Patriots talked about getting younger and faster at the linebacker position, and Dean fits that perfectly. If this is Dean, this completely makes up for the fact that we took Strange with the first overall pick, because you could easily switch them and say that that would make more sense. Yeah, the fact that Malik Willis hasn't gone yet is quite surprising. And we only gave up a 5th round selection to make the move. That just makes it even better, as the Patriots have plenty of late round picks. I think that is a W trade for the Patriots right there. And I think it just comes down to who they select. I wonder. I don't think this could be anybody but Dean. I really don't. If it's not Dean, it should be a corner. Come on, the pick has been in. Just go announce it. Just go announce it, please. It's Lawrence Guy walking out to make the selection. I do like that. I'm not going to look at Twitter and spoil it for myself. I am going to just wait and see this. I don't think this could be anybody but Dean. I think the Patriots made this to try and leap the Eagles, who might go Dean. Oh, they're going to have the kid make the selection. Are they? He's holding the card. It would make sense. But Lawrence Guy's out there talking. What? I don't know. Why? Because I have the thing muted. Sad. With the Patriots selection, who do they pick? Come on. Make it Dean. Okay. With the pick, the Patriots select Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver out of Baylor. This pick confuses me a little bit. I have not seen any film on Tyquan Thornton. He also has nothing about him on PFF. He ran a 4.28 at the NFL Scouting Combine. So they just drafted the Aguilar replacement. He's 6'2", 181 pounds, a senior. He is going to be 22 when the season starts. 14 games played, 392 pass snaps, mostly out wide. 60 catches on 98 targets, 941 yards, 15 yards per catch, and 10 touchdowns. Had 3 drops. Doesn't have much yards after the catch. Didn't force many missed tackles. Had 9 deep catches. He had 10 contested catches. Huh. The Eagles pick is in. I'm gonna have to look up some stuff on this guy because I have no idea who this is. Yeah. I hate how they don't even show anything for the players that we pick. They don't have highlights for the guys we select. If that tells you anything. I definitely feel like there were better receivers available. If this is the case on... Like, this just feels like a mega reach. The Eagles pick is in. Like, there were so many better receivers available. George Pickens, Sky Moore, Alec Pierce, Romeo Dubes. Like, this dude is just fast. He does... I would say, like, I don't have the stream, like, view on. I don't have the volume on, so I don't know what they're talking about, but, like, I'm watching it. They don't have any highlights for the guys that we pick. They didn't have any for Strange. They don't have any for Thornton. I just hope this isn't another one down the long list of receivers that we've picked in, like, the second round. That just turn into busts. Like, please don't be another one. Last one was Aaron Dobson. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the last receiver we took in the second round. Dean was right there. Man. I could have sworn it was going to be for Dean. I don't know why Dean is falling this far. He's going to be like what JOK was last year. He's going to come on and just boom for whoever picks him. Like, they're not... The highlights that I see for Thornton aren't really anything other than the fact that he's fast. Ugh, The Eagles pick is in. The Steelers are next after that. With the 51st pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select. If it's Dean. No, it is center Cam Jurgens out of Nebraska. I guess the Eagles just drafted their Jason Kelsey replacement for the future. I really don't know how to feel about the Thornton pick. It just feels like another major reach in the long line of major reaches that we've had. Why can't we just have nice things ever? I don't get it. Steelers pick is in. Yeah, him and Harry, unstoppable duo. Like, it doesn't seem like he's anything special. Like, he's fast. It doesn't look like he has insane route running. If he does, they're not showing it. The Baylor quarterback is just looking like, well, he's back there somewhere, and he's wide open because he's fast. They're not showing any route running. Steelers pick is being announced. Colts are up next. And it is George Pickens, wide receiver out of Georgia. Pickens finally goes. And, of course, it's to the Steelers, who have a long, long history of getting good receivers later in the draft, like on day 2. And they have character concerns. Pickens just adds to that list. Pickens was out most of last year with an injury. The Steelers' offense is just going to be insane. Kenny Pickett, Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, George Pickens. I mean, it's a pretty good offense. They're bolstering the offensive line. The Colts pick is in and is being selected. They're starting to move at a little bit of a quicker pace. The pick is wide receiver Alec Pierce out of Cincinnati. We're starting to see the run on wide receivers go. I liked Alec Pierce when watching him on tape. I think he was Desmond Ritter's #1 target over at Cincinnati. And he just goes to the Colts to be another threat for Matt Ryan. The Colts definitely had a need at receiver, as they really only have Pittman. I think they re-signed Zach Pascal, but other than that, they don't have much in terms of receiver, so they kind of need to go receiver here, and Alec Pierce was definitely one of the better receivers available. I need to catch up on these picks here. The Eagles took Cam Jurgens, the Steelers took Pickens, and the Colts took Alec Pierce. Hey, in my opinion, if Dean continues to fall, and Travis Jones, trade up and go get one of them. Like, please. Just do it. And I just saw who the Chiefs picked, and I'm honestly not surprised. Giants come out and say they aren't shopping Kadarius Toney even after taking wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson. So what, are they just going to have 5 wide receivers? What, are they going to cut Slayton? It's a little confusing to me. I want to look and see what Pats fans are saying about this pick, because I doubt it's anything good. Will quarterback go in the top 60? Probably. I don't see how the quarterbacks can just continue to keep falling. Atlanta might go for one. Other than that, nobody really left in the second round. Probably am going to end the stream at the end of the second round. Just because the Patriots don't pick till later. And not too much going on. Unless something big happens, then maybe we'll go a little later. If the Patriots trade up. But I think we'll maybe end the stream at the end of the second. I guess supposedly the Pats traded up for Thornton because they're looking at it where we've seen the run on with wide receivers, and supposedly a lot of teams had a high grade on Thornton. I don't see a problem with Thornton as long as the speed translates to something actually good. The Chiefs pick is in. Tony Gonzalez out to make the selection. Arizona is on the clock next. And the pick is wide receiver Sky Moore out of Western Michigan for the Chiefs. They go and get their Tyreek Hill replacement. Sky Moore was a speedy receiver out there. I just think he's very unpolished. And I think the Texans or the Chiefs are taking him with the thought process that he can develop into the next Tyreek Hill. And I don't know if he's going to be that necessarily, but I guess we'll find out. The Cardinals pick is in. Looks like he's not too bad. He's the fastest receiver in the class, it looks like. The Cardinals select tight end Trey McBride. First tight end off the board. McBride, I think, had first round level talent. I just don't think a lot of teams really had a need at tight end. I would say Arizona would be one of those teams, and here we go. They did extend Zach Ertz, but they also now add Trey McBride to that mix. He's like a bigger Kyle Pitts, is really the best way to explain it. I'm not gonna hate on the Thornton pick. I'm just gonna be skeptical. I'm not gonna say it's a bad pick. I'm just gonna be skeptical because of our history with drafting wide receivers, and it seems like from what I'm seeing, he's a fast, physical receiver whose knock is route running, and it's tough to not be a route runner in this class. I think Thornton was drafted just to be our max throw it down the field guy, which I think is good and something that they need. So I'm going to look at it and that's the positive. See, this is like I'm reading through stuff. I'm seeing mixed reports of whether he can run routes or not. That's a little annoying. Do you think the fans at the draft know half the prospects? No. No shot. They're crazy, psychotic. You can watch their reactions anytime a pick is made. They always have that funky face where they're like, "Huh?" And then they're like, "Well, we don't know who the guy is, but we're going to be happy anyway." I don't think a player ever really gets booed at the draft. The Bills are on the clock next after this selection. They take edge rusher Sam Williams out of Ole Miss. Ranked 91 on PFF's big board. 6'4", 261 pounds, a 23-year-old senior. Looks like he was a 3-year starter. Got most of his reps. Or it looks like he was a rotational guy kind of for 2 years and then played full time. Lined up mostly outside of the tackle. Played a little bit more on the tackle this year as a starter. Hit a 90 68.2 pass rush grade with his 65.2 run defense grade. They're getting him to get to the quarterback. He's there to help Micah Parsons. That's the role that they drafted him for. So it'll just be a matter if he can do that. I haven't seen any film on the guy, so I won't comment on that. But, yeah. So the last teams to pick, we have the Bills, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Bucks, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Broncos. And yet, still no other quarterbacks taken so far. It looks like Tampa Bay has traded up with the Bills. Oh my god, if the Bucks get Dean, I'm just gonna laugh so much. Like, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Just to make their defense that much better, that'd be insane. Leo Chanel has dropped too. He was expected to be a high-end second-round pick. Same with Nick Bonito. A lot of big names still continuing to drop. Yeah, what I'm seeing from Thornton is that I guess his quarterbacks were awful in his whole time there, and he still had great production, and Baylor's a run-first offense. So I'm not going to hate on the pick. I feel like it's a little bit of an overdraft. Maybe. Just not necessarily an overdraft. I just feel like there were maybe better guys there. My guess is Belichick doesn't want to deal with Pickens' character. And then other than that, I liked Romeo Dubes and Alec Pierce. And Dubes is still there. I bet you Dubes probably falls to day 3, which would suck. Justin Ross is probably going to fall. I don't know. This draft just has me skeptical. Is all. But it is the Bucks, and the pick is in. Yes, Ian Rappaport, we know that Kenny Pickett is still the only quarterback selected in the class so far. Relax. Out to make the Bucks selection, Titus O'Neil. And they select Luke Godecki out of a tackle out of Central Michigan. I honestly don't understand the reasoning for this. So Godecki's the other Central Michigan tackle. There's Bernard Raymond, and then there's Luke Godecki. Godecki's the younger one. He played right tackle. Who plays? If I'm not mistaken, Buccaneers have So they have Donovan Smith at left tackle and Wirfs at right tackle. I wonder if this means they're going to maybe move him to guard. Doesn't say. He's 6'5", 312 pounds. He's 23 years old. At a very good run blocking grade. I wonder if they might kick him inside to play left guard because the Buccaneers haven't drafted a guard. And they kind of need one. Maybe. That'd be my only explanation. That'd be my only explanation for the move. Falcons on the clock, and the pick is in. I wonder if this is maybe where we see a quarterback. Maybe this is Malik Willis or Matt Corral. One of them. Contrary to others, I figured, I had an idea that quarterbacks were probably going to be put on the back burner of this draft because most of these guys are developmental anyway. So you might as well go get your talented players and hope that the quarterback you want in drafts. Like, why reach on one? The Falcons select linebacker Troy Anderson. I don't like this pick. Anderson was originally a running back and quarterback who just decided to become a linebacker at an FCS level. My guess is he's just an athlete who realized that quarterback probably wasn't for him and just sized up to be a linebacker. But when I watched him on film, I didn't see anything fantastic about him that would suppose for him to be taken in the second round, which he was projected for. Now we see it here. But I'm not a fan of the pick, especially with somebody like Nakobe Dean or Leo Chanel still on the board. And the Vikings pick is in. Travis Jones and Nakobe Dean just continue to fall. And they are out to make the Vikings pick. And the Vikings select Ed Ingram out of LSU. I don't know why Dylan Parham has been dropping. I liked Parham coming out. Ed Ingram was a 2-year, looks like a 3-year starter at LSU who just didn't really develop Allowed only 5 sacks in his career. Looks like he's more of a pass blocker than a run blocker. The Vikings have just had problems with offensive line forever now. And they just have to continue drafting offensive linemen to try and fix the need. The Bills are on the clock. They took Khair Elam in the first round. I wonder if maybe this is a receiver. I like a slot receiver for the Bills here. Maybe they go D-line. Maybe they should screw it and take Dean because he's the best player available. I wonder how many teams panicked and didn't think Dean was going to still be on the board. They're just continuing to let him drop. I would love for the Patriots to trade up for Dean. I'd love it. I feel like we're going to come to a point here in the third round where it's going to be a run of quarterbacks. That just is what makes most sense. And there's a trade. The Bills trade with the Bengals. I bet you... I keep saying I bet you this is so-and-so. Like, one of these picks has to be Dean. Just at some point. It has to be Dean at some point. If Dean falls out of the second round, I might go insane. You in the chat have decided you can't end stream. You are the only person in the stream, and that's, you know, if there were more of you, I'd give it to you. But, nobody else really watching, so... As much as I like doing this, I go a little crazy talking to myself. And we're gonna get to the point here soon anyway where I'm not gonna know a lot of the players that are gonna go in the third. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16 guys that I know. I'm just counting right now. 17. And probably half of those guys are gonna drop out of the third anyway because that's how this works. So we're gonna get to the point, and we kind of already have gotten there where I don't know all the players left, so there's not really much analysis for me to give on the picks. But I do appreciate the want for me to continue. It does mean a lot. Channel has been growing a little bit, so that's good to see. We're at 76 subscribers now. It's gone up a little bit over the last couple months. I think at the start of the year we were at like 70. So we're at 76 now. I'm at the point where views are pretty concurrent. The last few months have been busy for me preparing for college and stuff. So I haven't been able to put out as many videos as I'd like, but I'd still get a little bit of views in the spans that I don't put a video up. Bengals give up a 6th round pick to move up 3 spots, and their pick is in. Walking out to make the selection now. And the Bengals select Cam Taylor-Britt, corner out of Nebraska. Highest ranked corner left on PFF's board. I'm pretty sure he projects more to the slot because of his size at 5'11", 196. And that's really what the Bengals need, corner-wise, because Eli Apple should not be on the field. They do have 2 other starting-worthy corners in Mike Hilton and Chidobe Awuzie, and they also drafted Daxton Hill. So I think the move is really just to get better in the secondary. I'm honestly a little surprised they don't go more towards linebacker with what their linebacker corps looks like. With Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, Marcus Bailey, they could really go for a strong side linebacker that's not Marcus Bailey. The 49ers have their pick in. They brought Breece Hall onto the stage. Matt Corral said he felt confident about going to the draft, and then he's fallen out of the first round. Not only the first round, but also the second round. Because I doubt he's going to go with one of these picks here. Pretty much we've established that they suck. Like, I think Corral is the best quarterback in the class, at least to me. Pickett's knock is going to be... I think he was a very first read type of quarterback, and he's got the small hands. He'll have the smallest hands of any starting quarterback in the league, so I wonder how that shakes out. I like Corral because he looked like the most NFL-ready quarterback. He wasn't just a first read type of guy. He ran an RPO offense. Played in the most pro-ready offense. So that's where I look at with that. Pick has been in. They haven't announced it yet. It's annoying. I hate when... I get why they use the draft as more of an entertainment platform. It just gets annoying. They're talking a lot about Breece Hall on NFL Network. I'm curious how that's going to work with Michael Carter, because I didn't think Michael Carter was that bad last year. It also sucks being a Pats fan because the Jets have had an amazing draft class. So that's a little frustrating, but finally out there making a pick for the 49ers. And they select edge rusher Drake Jackson out of USC. Drake Jackson was a projected early second round guy. Did well over at USC. He's a pure edge rusher. Mostly a pass rusher. He's got to work on his run defending, it looks like. Was a projected first rounder for a bit, and then once January hit, started to tumble. Wonder if he had a bad combine. He had only 10 run stops in 11 games. I wonder where he... I mean, it feels like he only plays a rotational piece with how the 49ers front seven looks. That's at least how I see it. The Chiefs pick is in, and then it's the Bills, and then the Broncos. With the last picks, it looks like somebody's walking out to make the Chiefs selection. And yes, they are. What's with the WWE stars making the draft selections? The Chiefs select safety Brian Cook out of Cincinnati. I saw him when I was scrolling through earlier. Has no projection. He's probably going to be 23 when the season starts. Senior, 6'1", 206 pounds. Played 900 defensive snaps last year in 14 games. Played mostly in run defense and coverage. He had 78 tackles. Lined up all over the place. Looks like mostly in the box, but also deep and in the slot. So he's a DB purely. He had 25 run stops, 7 forced incompletions, allowed 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. 22 catches on 37 targets, had 10 coverage stops. It looks like he's just kind of a do-it-all safety. He had a dip, huge dip actually, in average draft position in January, February. And then that increased, probably had a good combine. No extra analysis on him. I am honestly surprised at the Dean and Travis Jones droppage. If If I'm the Bills, I'm taking Travis Jones. It just makes the most logical sense. Yeah, it is weird to think about where. So if we do a quick look back at the 2021 NFL draft, right? So, excuse me, guys taken in the second round last year, especially we'll look at the late second. You know, Creed Humphrey was taken 63rd overall. Nick Bolton, Pat Freiermuth, JOK fell all the way to 52. I thought he went a little sooner. Azeez Ojulari, Rondale Moore, Asante Samuel. Trayvon Merrick was a projected first rounder, fell into the second. Christian Barmore, Holland Williams, Elijah Moore. I didn't realize the Eagles had already selected a center a couple years ago, Landon Dickerson. Is he a starter for them right now? I don't know. The Bills are on the clock and the pick is in. Okay, Landon Dickerson starts at left guard for them right now. I wonder if he transitions to safety if Kelsey leaves? I don't know. They come back from a commercial break. Bills signed Von Miller in the offseason to a 6-year, $120 million extension. It's insane. Patriots second round at wide receiver Tyquan Thornton says he tries to model his game after Devontae Adams. I love how he creates separation at the top of the route and line of scrimmage as well. Tried to mimic that with my release and route running while adding speed to it. Walking out for the Bills selection. And the Bills select running back James Cook out of Georgia. The running back pick comes. I was waiting for his selection. James Cook, I felt like he was the third best running back in this class. And it appears the Bills did so as well. If you're coaching a team for the season, how many wins will you have? If you're coaching the team for the season, how many wins will you have? If I'm the Pats, I'm not Belichick, so I definitely think we get less wins. But I do like to think that I know a little bit. Definitely don't know enough to be an NFL head coach. So, probably really bad. But I think I'd still find a way to beat the Jets, maybe. So I'll call it 2 wins. And the Broncos pick is in. They're walking out to make the selection. Last pick in the round. And it is edge rusher Nick Benito out of Oklahoma. Finally, Nick Benito gets drafted. And I think the Broncos just filled their need for a pass rusher opposite of Bradley Chubb. Especially with Von Miller being gone. So I think that was the best move for the Broncos to make. But with the second round being over, I think that's going to wrap up the stream. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your draft night, and I will hopefully see you guys down watching the next video. Probably gonna get some draft stuff coming out in the next couple weeks, reactions and stuff. But I'll see you guys. Have a good night. Go Pats.